Hey, so I want to share this experience that I had with you. And it's something so mundane and so simple. And yet I went through, I think, like a pretty big rewiring. And I also learned to work with some intergalactic guides and intergalactic species through this experience. So I hope you stay for this story. So I clench and grind my teeth. It's such a problem that I have to have a mouth guard that I wear at night. Now, I don't always wear it, and I'm a little bit irresponsible with it. But, it's something that's essential for me just because I really get, a lot of tension, and it's something that I haven't really thought too much about or paid attention to, but I see it. I observe it in myself. I observe myself grinding my teeth. I observe myself like carrying that tension in my jaw and just not really understanding why. I mean, I understand it for the earlier part of my life and through my life through corporate, but right now I don't fully understand it. And I think some of it is just residual. It's just residual behavior. I don't think I exhibit the same amount of stress in my life. And so I think that some of it is just something my body has gotten used to doing. It's almost a behavior pattern that set in that now that I consciously think about it, I need to rewire and rework that. And the reason I came to that is because I lost my mouth guard last night. Now, I knew where it was because I actually had the previous morning. It's a little difficult for me to go to the bathroom and wash it out and put it away because my husband sleeps really lightly and then he wakes up if I do that. And I get up at the crack of dawn to do my practices and then go work out. And so I actually get up before dawn. But, so I usually then wash it in the other bathroom and then I bring it with me somewhere like to the kitchen or, to my desk or something like that. And then I try to put it back later. Once he's awake, sometimes I forget. And so this time I had it sitting by my desk, and there's a kind woman who comes and cleans our house, who helps us with that, with everything that's going on. And so she was coming and I didn't want to leave my mouth guard there. And so I had the thought to move it. Now, there was this thought in me that was a little bit embarrassed by my behavior of not putting it away right away and judging myself for not being perfect or for showing this part of myself. That was the reason I was going to move it, is because I was judging myself. Like, I didn't just, I wasn't moving it for me. I was moving it because of what would she think? What would she think seeing this mouth guard sitting out by my desk? So I had the thought to move it. Now, I don't know what happened. I got busy. I kind of remember having it in my hand, and then the day goes on and there's a lot of things that happen in that day. And nighttime comes and it's super late and I'm gonna put my mouth guard in and I don't know where it is. And I'm like, oh wait, I had it by my desk, but I was gonna move it. I go and it's not there. And I don't know where it is. And at this point, it could have been anywhere in the house, because if I was unconsciously moving around with it, I could have put it down anywhere. And she came to clean the house. Now, I know she wouldn't have thrown it away. I know she would have just put it somewhere off to the side or whatever. But there was this part of me being like, oh, maybe I put it in some place that was weird and she accidentally threw it away. Maybe she moved it to some place she didn't see. I was actually starting to put some external, and it wasn't exactly a blame, but like external things, like she did something with this on that. And I realized that that is a form of blame when I'm saying, oh, this wasn't my fault, she moved it, or she saw it and she put it like somewhere else, that I wasn't taking full responsibility. And as I'm searching through the house at like 11:30 at night or something like that, I'm having to tell myself, this is my fault. I take full responsibility. I don't know where this mouth guard is because this is something that I did. Now, the only reason that it was a problem with losing it is that this thing costs like $2,000. It's ridiculous how much a mouth guard costs from a dentist. I mean, they just charge so much, and this was through insurance and everything, but because my teeth grinding wasn't considered a problem, the insurance wouldn't pay for it, whatever. Anyway, so it was you know, it's one of these things that I don't want to lose because that's a lot of money. So I'm going through scarcity issues at the same time. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to have to call my dentist? Am I going to have to reschedule this appointment? Am I going to have to do this again? And so here I am, you know, feeling a little bit like I'm in scarcity, and I finally accepted responsibility. This is my doing. I was embarrassed unnecessarily. You know, if that's something I do, that's something I do. Who cares what I do? There should be no judgment on the choices that I make for my life. And I was wanting to blame somebody on the outside. Oh, maybe she moved it. Maybe she did something with it. But I was taking full responsibility. Now, I searched the area that I thought this was in. I searched it like 5 or 6 times. It wasn't there. And I searched everywhere else. And then finally, I was like, surrender, surrender, surrender. I'm not supposed to find it tonight. It's in the house. It'll turn up. It'll turn up when I need it. There was a little thing in the back of my head saying maybe it won't turn up, because I actually have done this with a pair of glasses, and I lost it in the beginning of quarantine in the house. We didn't go anywhere. And I still don't know where those glasses are. So there was that little bit of like, oh, maybe you won't find it. So I then had to wrestle with this. Okay, so what if I don't find it? Do I want to spend another $2,000 on a mouth guard? Because I'm really at a point right now where I have to consciously think about the money and where I'm going to spend it. I have been really blessed to be, you know, investing in myself, working on myself, really building who I am, which, you know, I felt like I was starting from scratch. And it's been wonderful. And, you know, I'm slowly getting things together, and, you know, I'm making right now what I need to, you know, pay my bills and do those things. But I'm you know, I don't feel like I'm in a scarce situation, but because I know there's an infinite amount that's coming back to me, and I know all of this is going to work, and everything is happening as it should. And like, I feel so abundant, and I feel so magical, and I feel so, you know, I'm like, I'm living the life that I've always wanted. But I have to be conscious about, you know, like $1,000 here or there, you know, that's a big chunk of change. I mean, that was a big chunk of change before. It's a bigger chunk of change now. And so I was like, okay, what am I going to do? If I don't have this mouth guard, what am I going to do? Because I can feel this pain and this kind of habit in me. And then that's when I realized I can work with all our intergalactic guides. I have been going through these amazing courses with some people who have been teaching us how to work with all of our intergalactic species, the ones that they know and the ones that they don't know. I have been, over these past few years, working specifically with the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, and the Sirians. Now, if you're not familiar with our intergalactic friends, you know, we're not alone. Come on, we're not alone. You know, this entire universe, I mean, we are humans here on Earth, and we think that we're alone because we have the most beautiful planet with, you know, an amazing species, us human, and all these amazing animals and all these amazing trees and plants, and there's nothing else out there that is intelligent life. Well, the reason why humans haven't found intelligent life is because they're looking for people that are looking for some form of life that's within the capacity of what they know, which is going to mean third dimension or lower. So elements, elemental, you know, to animals, to humans. But what if there is that concept? There can be energies and beings that are in a different density than we are. And this is why we can't see them. This is why we can't measure them. This is why we can't identify them by technology and scientific means. But if you attune yourself to them, you can feel them. Now, I can't specifically tell you that this is the Arcturians or the Pleiadians or whatever. I can't prove it to you in any way. And it doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to sit here to prove this to you. All I'm saying is that we as humans are limited by our senses. Our senses can only pick up so much. And even with our senses, we only pick up a small fraction of the world. Have you ever been in the dark and like shined a light and then you see all these particles floating and you know, you're like, oh wow, the air is full of stuff. Well, the air has always been full of stuff. It's full of stuff right now. You just can't see it because our brain knows how to filter this out so that we can only see a certain amount of information, because otherwise we would get overwhelmed with information. So there's information all around us and all through us, and we are all energetic beings. 99.9% of us is space. I know we seem like we're solid objects that are physical, but we're mostly space. And if we're mostly space, that means that there is an infinite amount of space all around us. And so when we think about tapping into that space, what we're doing is we're tapping into the vibration, the energy frequencies, the energy signatures. And that's how I communicate and tap into the various different forms that are out there, including my highest self, my higher self. And that is the version of me that has lived through everything, that knows everything, that has been through all timelines and knows the best outcome. And we all have our higher selves. I have my angel guides and spirit guides. They're all the different guides that guide us. Now, we also have some friends from the cosmos, our intergalactic friends, the different races of beings that are out there, some of which who have chosen to help Earth and help us humans here on Earth. Now, why do they do that? Well, this is something that is in their service mission. This is something that they want to do. This is something that they're here to help us be our best selves. And if we tune into them, they can help us help ourselves. And when we help ourselves, we help the planet. When we help the planet, we help the cosmos. When we help the cosmos, everything is moving in the direction of love and light. So, I have been tuning in to our intergalactic friends, and I've been learning about their really different energies. When I came across them, I didn't know the differences between them. I just was receiving signs from the universe, like, you know, the Arcturians are working with you, the Pleiadians are working with you, and I started by knowing absolutely nothing, and I kind of let the universe guide me to it. Now I'm also working with the Sirians and the Lyrans and the Andromedans, and I know a little bit more about the Sirians. I know nothing about the Lyrans and the Andromedans. I'm just getting to know, and it's really beautiful because all of this comes about. But anyway, I was told that we can work with the Arcturians and the Pleiadians when dealing with our health. And the Arcturians are, you know, all of these are advanced civilizations. And the Arcturians are like, you know, really masters at science and technology. And like, I understand why I have been working with them for so many different reasons. So I thought I would finally tap in to this energetic frequency and develop a relationship and ask for help. So last night, as I was like, okay, going through scarcity, do I want to spend $2,000 on this? And I made a decision, not from scarcity, but I made this decision from consciousness. I said, you know what? If I want to buy another mouth guard, I can. I can look for the other one. It's around the house. There's no need to rush to it. I'm not in dire need. And I'm choosing not to buy one now. I will choose to look for it again. I will choose to let it show itself to me when it's ready. And then I said, I am going to ask my Arcturian guides and my Pleiadian guides for help with my health. I want to help break this habit of grinding my teeth. I want to understand why I still do it. I want to understand how I can change my biology so that I'm no longer relying on this habit. And I really set that intention really deeply last night. I felt all these tingles throughout my body, and that's usually a sign that, you're communicating with something outside, something that's different from you. Something then is the reactionary way that we interact with this world. And so I felt those tingles, and I fell into the deepest sleep I have had in a very long time. Now, I've been not sleeping so well. I've been attributing some of it to the full moon and all the energies that are out there. My family has not been sleeping well. We all slept really deeply that night. I don't think I ground my teeth last night because I woke up and I didn't have that weird sensation that I usually have where I'm slowly moving my teeth. I didn't have the jaw pain. So I think that they helped. And then it was really beautiful. And so this morning I repeated that intention, to help with the teeth grinding and stuff. I've also been helping them. I also called on them last night to help with my asthma and my allergies. Now, as I was going to bed, my asthma and my allergies were coming about. And last night I didn't feel them at all. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night having to take my inhaler when I go to bed when I feel it coming on. Nothing. I slept right through. I slept so deeply. And this morning, I woke up, I was completely clear. There was no issues that I was dealing with, and it was really beautiful. So then after my meditation, I had some pretty profound meditations, and I asked them again to continue working with me on this. Then I was moving a paper around, and in the very place that I had looked, there was my mouth guard. It just came right out. And I was like, oh, yay, I found my mouth guard. That was great. I knew it was around the house. But then I realized the reason I couldn't see it where it was to really deal with those stories, deal with the stories of shaming myself, feeling, guilty about or feeling like just weird about somebody putting judgment on me, then trying to shift the blame to somebody, to that very person that I was worried about judging me. And then, taking responsibility, taking full responsibility for my actions and my reality, dealing with those stories of scarcity and taking a decision, not from scarcity, but from where I am, and then learning to ask for help and learning to ask for help beyond the earthly plane. This is what I learned, all from losing my mouth guard. And I feel like that's why I lost it. So again, this is a very long story in a roundabout way of telling you, really, when these things are happening in your life, really examine the stories you're telling yourself. Think about how you can change that narrative. Think about what it is that you're saying to yourself, that you're saying about others, and what is it that you can change within yourself to grow in a new direction. I hope this helped you. It's really been a profound realization for myself, and I look forward to hearing your stories about how you've learned something so deep that you've maybe known conceptually. I knew all these topics conceptually, but this was really putting it into action. So please share your stories. I'd love to hear them. Bye.